Hello everyone, LucasLegend here, and welcome to the second episode of my mini-series Behind the Illusion, where I'll be interviewing magicians from all over the world, including today's guest, who at the age of just 12 years old has been capturing hearts and minds. And I actually got the honor and privilege to watch this young man's first ever show, and now you all get to meet him. Everybody, Camden Lovelett. There we go.
Uh,
So, Camden,
yep.
this is just the interview is just shortly after your first ever show on stage.
Yes. Shortly
Or
after
no,
my
shortly
second
after
as
your
well.
second, your second,
Second.
sorry.
Yes.
Uh, how was the second show? I didn't make it to that.
Um, it went well. Yeah. There were again a few things I could improve on, like always, but it went well.
That's good. That's good that you have that mindset to know that there's certain areas where you can improve in Magic. Especially considering there's a lot of people who will get, a bit cocky. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm pretty solid in where I'm at." There's always room to improve, and I'm glad that you acknowledge
Right.
that. But I'm gonna get into the questions now that I have down for the interview. Did you practice?
Yes.
Okay,
A
good,
little
good.
bit. Yeah.
So, first question up, you probably read this. How did you get started in Magic and what age were you?
Okay. So I guess the first time I was exposed to the idea that there were actual people behind the effect, it wasn't actually impossible. I was maybe like 9, 2 or 3 years ago. Um, and basically what had happened was it was Halloween and we were trick-or-treating. And one of the houses, when we said trick or treat, they opened the door and they said trick. And they expected us to do a trick, right? I didn't know any tricks. So I went home and I learned a few. So then the next year I could do a trick for that house.
No,
But
what's
then we
what
moved. So I
what?
didn't do a trick.
Oh, that's a shame. I was gonna say, sorry for interrupting there, but I was gonna say that's actually interesting because October 31st, 1926 is when Houdini died. So,
Ooh.
what are the odds that Halloween night is the night that you get interested in magic?
Yeah, I don't
It's got to be
I never
Houdini's
knew that.
ghost. Houdini's ghost is like, let me take care of this kid. Um, so you got interested at around age 9 because of
9 or 10, something around that.
somewhere's around there you got interested. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's about a year or so after I started. So we're on similar pace. We're on similar pace. The next question up is what are some of your favorite personal tricks to perform? Like what are your
Um,
personal favorites?
Definitely card tricks. But I mean, yeah, you'd have to define favorite because if it's like my favorite trick, like the favorite story, that'd be one answer. Then there is like the favorite one technically,
Just like what
then
your
my
what your
go-to.
favorite to perform is.
Um, I have a jumping signature trick, and that's always fun to perform.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Is that the one with the stick man that you did?
Yes, yes, that
Okay.
is.
I was gonna say I think I still have that card somewhere in my room. I'll have to look for it later. But you talked about how you got interested in magic at around age 9. Did you have any inspirations? Like who were your inspirations?
Um, I watched a lot of Penn and Teller Fool Us. Uh,
Penn and
that
Teller
those
Fool Us.
two were probably my biggest
Penn and
inspiration.
Teller Fool Us. I love it so much is I didn't know actually. I went over this in my interview with Justin and I did not know that was a show for a solid amount of time.
Yeah,
And it is very embarrassing. He said I shouldn't expose it, but here I am exposing it in another video. So sorry, Penn and Teller. Um
right.
it's funny because I actually the most recent thing I had seen about Penn and Teller is I've been keeping up with their like stuff on social media, and they're still doing great. But then I ended up coming across a Young Sheldon clip, and it had directed me over to a Big Bang Theory clip where Teller had a
Oh
speaking
yeah.
role.
Yeah,
He
I
had a
saw that.
speaking role. That was so weird because I've never really seen Teller talk, but
Yeah.
there he was. But here's another question here. I'm getting a bit distracted. Have you ever gotten injured doing a trick, even if it wasn't particularly a dangerous trick?
Not even close. The closest I've gotten is when I'm tied up doing the Houdini chains.
So,
I've not
so
gotten
what you
close.
mean to say is not yet,
Not yet.
not yet.
Yeah.
I've gotten injured a few times doing tricks, but nothing like severe yet. You
That
know,
I mean,
yet.
that's good. That's good.
Um, I mean, most I've gotten is like burnt arm hair or like I pricked myself with a hand on my on a spike board one time, but
Oh,
other
you
than
did?
that, I haven't really gotten. much injury, other than cutting my tongue when swallowing a sword. But what are your
How did
everyday
that happen?
carry tricks? What
Oh,
cutting my tongue? It was just the sword was pointy, so I poked
oh,
myself with my tongue.
okay.
Wasn't great, but
Everyday carry tricks.
yes.
So I already mentioned the pen one. I bring that sometimes. I don't love it because I do have to draw on a card, and then I don't have that card anymore. But probably my go-to is the Slop Shuffle Triumph. I don't need any gimmick cards. I could have 5 cards lost and it could still work. So that one's definitely my go-to.
That's cool. Is it like um when it comes to everyday carry tricks, you want something that's quick to perform, something that's takes a little bit of time to perform, and you definitely want something that'll promote yourself.
Right.
So like maybe do a card trick and then like at the end you make your business card appear.
That's a good
That's
idea.
one that
That's
I've
good.
done before and it works really well, but it takes quite a while. So you got to really get a good amount of their attention to
Right.
perform something like that. But like a quick perform trick, that is what gets their attention. And then you can go on
Right.
to the longer trick where you promote yourself. Um, what is the most difficult trick you've ever performed?
Um, so I don't know if I'm calling it by the right name. I call it Kings Across, but it has a lot of sleight of hand. I probably have like 30 some odd videos of me messing up on the first move. It took a while, but
You
I've
know,
got it and it was worth it. So,
the funny part about that is drawing back from me and Justin's interview here is he said actually what his advice was to future magicians was to record yourself for practice, and you're already doing that. So,
yes.
that's amazing. You're using Justin's guidance.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Um, but yeah, I've recorded myself a few times, but mostly I'd just be like doing tutorials so I can remember later on
Tutorials.
what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I do that sometimes because once if you're good enough to teach it to someone else, then you're good enough to perform it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah. Um, Up next we have you ever messed up in front of an audience and how did you deal with that?
Yes, I have. So one time I was doing a card trick and I had to deal the cards into a kid's hand, right? And one, it was a really small kid, so he couldn't hold the cards, so they got dropped. Thankfully, they got picked up in the right order. Um, and then he had to give a number. He couldn't think of a number, so then we had to get a whole nother person on stage just to pick a number. That was
That
embarrassing.
it's funny. That's I've seen that happen a lot of times. Kids just they can't come up with a number.
Yeah,
We gotta start teaching them math.
counting, really.
Yeah,
I don't even know if that
counting.
counts as math.
Is that math? I mean, it's something with arithmetic, maybe something along.
No.
I don't know. It's something to do with numbers. I'm not good at math, so that's not really my forte. Um, but it's good that they got picked up in like the correct order, so like the trick could
Yeah,
continue.
yeah.
Um,
I think it still worked out, but it wasn't as intended.
yeah, I mean, as long as the trick ends up doing well, I don't think the audience has because the audience doesn't know what's going on. They're just like,
Right.
hey, he pulled it off. That's impressive. But how do you deal with hecklers and skeptics?
I don't. I don't get many hecklers ever. I don't think I've now skeptics I have gotten a few because sometimes I will perform like for family and friends and they don't really ask permission to see your stuff. They will just look at your stuff. My strategy to prevent that is put it away as fast as possible. If they
That
don't have a chance to look at it, you're fine.
That's a good method. I was doing some library shows in Maine in August of this year, and kids were very curious. They were getting into a lot of my stuff, so I totally understand the getting it put away as quick as possible, so that
Right.
they can keep their hands off of it. Though they were very interested in Wonder Bubbles, right? They were
I've seen it. I
they
don't
were
think I
very
know how it
interested
works.
in holding the bubble. So
Right.
I almost lost it actually. One of the kids almost kept it and took it home with them, but luckily their dad was like, "Hey, that's not yours."
Right.
So I mean, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. I would have just had to perform the trick, at a
With
later
one less
point.
bubble.
But it was funny. The kids were great though. The kids were great. They were funny. Um, but on to the next question here. What's the coolest slash favorite place you've ever performed?
Uh, so I don't know if it would count as coolest, but it's cool to me. I performed at a few card tricks for people at an ice cream shop, and the reason it's cool to me is because they didn't go there thinking they were going to see a magic trick. They went there to get some ice cream, and then I did perform a few tricks for them.
That's good. It's like, it's cool in the aspect that, you got to show other people magic and
Right.
they liked it. They weren't expecting to, see some magic that day, but you were available to bring that to them.
Yeah.
That's good on you. You're spreading the magic around. I thought for a second there, I thought you were gonna say it's cool because it's an ice cream shop. It's
I mean, that
cool
is cool too. That's a
physically and
plus.
temperature wise cool because
Yeah.
otherwise the ice cream would melt. Um,
Besides that, it's probably just the magic shop. I haven't really performed many other places.
yeah. Um, I I've performed some other places, but this interview isn't about me. But it's great to just have the ability to spread magic wherever you go,
Right.
really. As per the SAM uh rules.
Right.
But we're running out of questions here, and we're going pretty fast with this interview. So I'm gonna throw you a curveball here. Is that all right if
Okay.
I throw you a
Yeah, it's
curveball?
fine.
All right. So what are your hobbies other than magic?
Um, so there's a few. One, I play video games. I'm
That's a good
12.
hobby.
I
That's a good
play
hobby.
video game. Um, I also do block coding. Uh,
Block coding? What is that?
block code. Yeah, it's so you make games with you drag and drop the blocks. It's like baby coding. Instead of actually typing, you just drag the blocks.
Well, no coding's baby coding because you can't put a baby in front of the computer and just,
I
expect them
guess,
to,
yeah.
hey, write some Shakespeare. That'd be a bit panicking. But the gaming. What are your favorite games? What are your favorite types of
I
games?
definitely Minecraft. That's definitely
That's
number
fair.
one.
I mean, we can see in the background you've got all the Minecraft Lego sets.
Yes.
I
Yes.
have a bit of an assumption of what your favorite games might be, but
There you go.
Minecraft that's a solid one. It's been around, and I can't help but notice in the background as well over there in that corner on your desk. Would that happen to be the magic kit I gave you?
Yes, it would. Yes.
I could
Yep.
recognize that painting anywhere.
In fact,
Yeah.
right there is the change bag that I use in my show. You also gave that to me. So that
Oh,
was really nice of you.
oh yeah, no problem, man. If I can help your career out in any way, just let me know. Other than
Thank
buying
you.
you a soda, which I did do. Did I do that
Which you
twice or
did
just
do.
once? I think it was
I think once. I don't know.
might have been more than that.
Maybe.
Regardless, if I ever jinx, you owe me a soda
Right.
instead of the other
I owe
way
you
around.
multiple.
Maybe multiple, yeah.
Maybe.
Um, but moving on in the tricks that we have, what is the most expensive thing you've bought for Magic?
Um, I don't buy most of my stuff. Most of it is gifts. But if I had to guess, most expensive thing is the linking rings. If I had
That's
to guess, I don't know.
fair.
Uh, or if it's not that, maybe a deck of cards. Theory 11 decks of cards. They get pretty expensive
They
sometimes.
get pricey. For Christmas actually, I have a box set, Harry Potter box set that they have on their site.
Okay.
It's about $100 or so, and but
Whoa.
it's nice. It comes with five playing card decks, so they're all you got
Are they
Ravenclaw.
different designs?
Yeah, they've got Ravenclaw, Slytherin,
Okay.
Hufflepuff. What's the other
Gryffindor?
Gryffindor. Gryffindor.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm forgetting. Um, which is funny because that's like one of the main ones, isn't it? That's Harry's area.
Yep.
Way to go, me for forgetting that. But then they also have like a white deck in the center, and it's all
Okay.
like themed out. Everything's themed out, and like the box itself, I believe there's like some sort of secret mechanism to get to that
Oh, that's cool.
fifth hidden deck. But that brought up a question in my mind: is how many people bought that like box set for somebody, not knowing that there was a fifth deck, and they just threw it out, like threw out the rest of the box,
Whoa.
and
Yeah,
and
that would
and didn't
not.
grab the other deck. I guess if you
Oh,
ever
that
see
would
one in the,
suck.
yeah, I know you could just if you ever see one in the trash, just make sure it's
Right.
out of
Yeah.
there. If not, just take it for yourself. But we really th flew through these questions. I got to think of another curveball to throw you because I don't want to get to that last question just yet. Let's see.
Right.
Ah, who are your favorite social media influencers that do magic?
Uh, oof. Okay, so my top two are probably Chris Ramsey. You've heard of him?
Fair. That's fair, yeah.
Yep.
Chris Ramsey.
And Jason Meyer, the magician. I don't know if I'm doing his name justice.
Jason,
That's how I say it.
is he a street performer?
Yes, yes, he is.
Okay, is he the one who does is he the one that does the routine where he like hands the kid an axe or something, or is
Yes,
that
yeah,
okay, yeah.
yep.
So
Hmm.
I've seen that guy before. He's funny. He's funny. I find it funny that the kids always grab the axe. Like
Yeah,
they're gonna go do that. They're like, "Oh,
right.
okay, I'll take that very seriously. I'll take that very, very
Yeah.
seriously. I'll just you know,
Use it. I love it when people use the audience in their comedy and not just delivering one-liners. You're also setting stuff up with the audience. I
yeah,
think
so
that's
like
clever.
you're using the audience to be a part of that. So not only is it a thing for you, but it's a thing for them. They can laugh and they can
Yeah,
be a part of the experience. And other people can watch, either their friend be a part of the experience or, a family member be a part of the experience. It's really awesome, like you said, when people do that,
yeah.
because it just opens up the opportunity so much more. Uh, should I throw you another curveball or should I just go on to the last question?
If you want to throw me another curveball,
I
we
have to
can do
think of
that.
another curveball. There's
Oh,
so many curveballs that there's only so many curveballs that I can throw. Let's see.
only so much.
Where'd you get your shirt? That's a curveball.
Oh, the mall.
The mall. Just
Yeah.
the mall? Which mall?
I I don't honestly, I don't know. I don't really pay attention when we're driving places. It's
That's
just,
that's fair. You're just
oops,
bored out
we're
of your mind.
here.
Who wants to stare out of a window for, like 30 minutes just getting somewhere,
I'd stare out of the window. I just don't pay attention where
You
we're
just don't pay
going.
that you just spacing out.
There's a difference.
You're just spacing out.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, unless you see like a really cool billboard or something, then you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
what's that?" I mean, the advertising's working.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've thrown you enough curveballs so far, so I'm just gonna get on to the last question here, and then we can have a conversation at the end of those questions, or whatever you'd like to do. But let's get into the last question here. What advice would you give to a future magician?
Okay. I think the obvious one is obviously practice. Like I said earlier, recording yourself and then
Fair.
slumming it down and watching it again. That's definitely a really good way to practice. I think also mixing in practicing in front of live people is another great way to
So like in
practice.
front of a live audience,
Yes, even if it's just your family, because then you'll get a feel for, are the words I'm saying making sense? Do my instructions make sense?
it gives you more of
Um,
a public speaking sort of thing,
yes.
sort of practice
Yeah.
there.
And then the other thing is you aren't the same person when you're on stage versus off stage. Because I mean, for me, at the very least, I used to be really awkward performing for people I know because
I think a lot
I
of us
have
are
to be a
like that.
character on stage, right? I'm different up there. So
Yeah.
I think knowing to separate you from performer you, I feel like that's pretty important.
So, future advice you would give to a future magician is practice and separate yourself from your character.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Um, if you want a few more questions or you want to have just a conversation, any new topics that have come up in your life, did Houdini haunt you recently? Stuff
No,
like
I
that.
don't think he's haunted me yet. Not
Yet,
yet.
yet, you added the yet.
I
There's always
added
a
I
possibility.
learned. I
Everything's
learned.
possible through magic.
Hmm. Yeah. Uh, that was all the questions, I'm pretty sure.
That was the entire list of questions. That's why I threw you so many curveballs. I didn't want the interview to be
Yeah.
over just yet. Uh, now we're just stuck in a point where it's either conversation or the end of the interview.
Right. What do you want to talk about?
Like a situation. I don't know. We could just talk about more magic. We could just talk about
Okay.
more magic. Any good shows you've seen recently? Any good magic shows you've been to?
Uh, no.
No.
Uh, I've been wanting to go to
You
one. So,
said that like you went to a magic show and it just wasn't a good magic show.
oh no, all the magic shows I've been to have been good ones. I just haven't gone to one recently.
Such a
Uh, yeah. Uh, I just thought about something. I recently, not recently, but a little while ago when I first started, I was watching a lot of Penn and Teller, if you remember.
yes,
Um,
I do.
so, and of course, it is Penn and Teller fool us. So the entire goal is to fool Penn and Teller, and that was the only way I watched Magic. In my mind, it was all about fooling the other person. So when I first got into Magic, it was all about fooling them and not just making a good magic trick.
That is a good way to go about ways. You're just trying to, fool them, because you want to make sure that the secrets of magic are preserved, again, as
Right.
per the SAM guidelines. But the funny part about that is, like I said, I didn't know Penn and Teller was a thing for a while. So when I started out in Magic, I was just watching a bunch of America's Got Talent clips. So I'd be like, oh, this guy just performed, and
Yeah,
I'll check it
there's
out.
a lot of good magic tricks on AGT or BGT or all the other GTs.
There's a lot of
There's a lot.
there's a lot of talent shows actually. I have a friend of mine, his name's Harry Merlin Piper, and he was on Spain's Got Talent when he was younger, and it was really impressive. I watched it just shortly after I met him in Texas. So it was a he had a great performance. He really
Nice.
has a way to capture the audience's attention. He does all sorts of big illusions. He's super
What type
amazing.
of trick you do?
He does a bunch of escape act,
Oh,
does
okay.
a bunch of big illusions, does a lot of stuff with fire, which I really appreciate because I'm also
Fire.
kind of a pyromaniac. But yeah, he's super. I'd suggest you look him up a little bit and just like
What was his name
put
again?
a Harry Merlin Piper. Harry Merlin
Harry
Piper.
Merlin Piper.
I'll probably shoot you an email with like his like channels or whatever in it later.
Okay.
But yeah, it was super great to interview you, and
It was great to be here.
it was awesome to hear all your answers on the questions and the advice to give to a future magician being, practice and separate yourself from the character. That's really solid advice to give to future magicians. So I appreciate you giving your time here for the interview.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cut it to a close now, and
Okay.
I'll talk to you later. All right.
I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.